Audible. Bring this guy on a curl. Hopefully somebody gets open here, man. Oh my gosh. Bro, like, why is he so fast? Why is he so fast? Carl's hurt. Carl gets injured. I didn't even know that was possible. Carl got injured. And we lose. So as you guys see, there is a massive problem within this series. So I went to go play the next game in the series, and it wouldn't let me. If you guys watched last episode, at the very end, Carl Weezer got hurt. It didn't tell me what got hurt. It didn't tell me for how long. So I figured everything was just okay and he was going to be back next week. Well, when to go play, it wouldn't let me. I went to the injury report. Look, as you see, Carl Weezer is out for the season with a punctured right aorta, which is a little wild because for the most part, if somebody's right aorta got punctured, they'd probably die. So at least on the positive side, Carl Weezer's still alive, but on the negative side, he's out for the season. If you don't know what the aorta is, it's the biggest organ in your body, and it connects to your heart, and that's not a good thing to get punctured. So apparently, it was a little bit more of a severe injury than what I thought it was. So that really dampers things on this series, as I guess in today's episode what we're going to have to do is just finish this season and just see how the Georgia Bulldogs do without Carl Weezer. But hopefully guys still do enjoy today's episode, and if you do, make sure to drop a like. I'm not sure what all it's going to contain, but we'll have to see. But let's see if we can smash 2,000 likes once again on this series. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and turn on the notification bell if you haven't. And if you do have on the notification bell, go turn it off and turn it back on. And make sure you have it selected to all videos to make sure you get notified every single time I upload a video, because otherwise you'll probably not ever see the fact that I actually uploaded a video. Also, hang in there merch, as always, link top description box below. Getting so close to our goal of shirt sales. Every single dollar earned from the shirt sales going directly to charity. So go support a great cause. Buy a shirt. Let me know if you do buy a shirt and tweet me a picture or tag me in a picture. I'll be sure to like it or retweet it on my Twitter. And just support a great cause and rock some awesome merch. Also, still running a console giveaway over on my Instagram. All you have to do is go and follow, and as soon as we do hit 10,000 followers, I will do the giveaway. So link to that also description box below. Long intro RBT over with. As you guys see, Georgia currently is ranked number 12 at 6-2, but Carl's going to have no say what's going to happen in the last 4 games of the season. Well, I guess the championship game, and then well, probably not the national championship game, but probably whatever bowl game we get into. So I guess technically all we're going to do is finish the season, see how we end up, see if somehow we can still win the SEC, and then see, I guess, what happens around college football. See who wins the national championship, and then get into the sophomore season. See what the offseason actually consists of in NCAA football, and get ready for the sophomore year. Hopefully, his right aorta gets recovered and is good, and he won't die, because that wouldn't be good for the series if Carl died. So I guess what we do now is we just we'll sim to week 15 and see where things are looking at this point. This is definitely not what I expected to do in today's episode, that's for sure. So as you guys see, Georgia doesn't finish the season as good as they possibly could have if Carl was on the team and not on the sideline with a punctured right aorta. We finished the regular season in college football before I'm not sure if we made it to the SEC championship game. I'm assuming we didn't. Ranked 17th in the country. We lost another game, so we finished 9-3. Could have been a lot better. So, Heisman watch. I guess the Heisman's about to be crowned. It looks like, of all people, it's going to go to Garrett Collingham. Garrett freaking Collingham from Boise State. A Boise State player. And also in the top 5 is a quarterback from Northern Illinois, Ryan Graham. Let's see the top 25 poll. So he's probably going to be playing for the national championship game before the conference championship week. Texas and Mississippi State. This road to glory is mental. mental. So Texas is undisputed the number 1 team in the country, only undefeated team that remains. Mississippi State lost 1 game. Who did they lose to? Mississippi State lost to Texas A&M by 35, or was that 25 points? And they're probably still going to make it to the national championship game, depending on what happens at the SEC championship. Notre Dame, they're right there at 11-1. Oklahoma 10-1. Louisville 10-1. Alabama lost 2 games on the year. Who did they lose to? Lost to Mississippi State, okay, and Tennessee by 1. Nebraska was undefeated at number 1 in the country until they lost to number 20 Iowa by 1,003 points. Boise State, with a Heisman winner, is up to number 10 in the country. Florida lost to Florida State, so they dropped. So the SEC not looking too good aside from Mississippi State. Any real surprises though? Syracuse at 10-2. The Syracuse Orange, my boys, they lost to Maryland and Georgia Tech. Aside from that, they would be right up there. At least we're higher ranked than Northern Illinois at 18th in the country. Iowa's got that big win. We beat Georgia Tech, thank God. Arkansas got demolished by LSU. Miami's up there. Oregon State at 7-5 is up there. They're ranked ahead of a 9-3 team. Any wild teams getting votes? Louisiana Lafayette getting votes. I mean, I can see that possibly. They're a decent team. Fresno State getting votes. They could be a decent team. They just lost. But underwhelming. Underwhelming. Let's go to more info. Who did we end up losing to? We lost to Florida and we lost to Kentucky. Kentucky. A Carl Weezer team lost to Kentucky. A Carl Weezer list team, that is, lost to Kentucky. That's unfortunate. That is definitely unfortunate. So I guess now what we can do is advance to the next week and see. I guess we don't play for the conference championship game. I guess we can just advance past this and just advance into the bowl games. So apparently the Heisman Trophy goes to Chris Nelson from Texas. The Boise State guy didn't win it. The quarterback from Florida came in 3rd. Northern Illinois' quarterback came in 4th. So number 15, Carl Weezer-less Georgia, has to play Northwestern in the Gator Bowl. Not only is it the Gator Bowl, think of those words, the Gator Bowl. Our rivals of the Florida Gators. It's just like insult to injury. Why is number 3 Notre Dame taking on number 1 Texas in the national championship game? What the heck? What the heck? Who's number 2? Oklahoma. Why is... Okay, I'm a confused guy. I'm a really confused guy. The bowl... let's look at bowl games, I guess, or BCS rankings. Maybe they're higher in the BCS rankings. Maybe that's why. What the heck? So they're higher? That's just weird. So apparently Mississippi State lost to Florida. So they're not in the national championship game. So they screwed up their chance. And Notre Dame higher than Oklahoma in the BCS rankings, but not in the top 25 poll. So it's Texas versus Notre Dame. Interesting. So I'm guessing these were the conference championship games. So Mississippi State lost to Florida, so Florida does win the SEC. You have Boise State win the Mountain West Conference as they beat San Jose State. Michigan State wins the Big Ten as they beat Nebraska 38-10. Oregon wins the Pac-12. They beat USC by a touchdown, 34-27. Georgia Tech beats Syracuse to win the ACC. What an ACC title matchup. Syracuse and Georgia Tech. No Florida State or Clemson. But let's see if there's any interesting bowl game matchups. You have San Diego State versus UCLA. That's a fun game. UAB versus Wake Forest. Another fun game. Boise State, who gets ranked number 10 in the country. They get awarded for going 11-2 to play in the Las Vegas Bowl. UCF doesn't go undefeated into this one. They have to play Northern Illinois. I guess that's actually a pretty cool game between those two. I think the BCS Bowls are probably the only thing. Michigan versus LSU is an interesting one, but they both went 6-6, so actually that's trash. We have West Virginia versus Wisconsin's a pretty good one. USC versus Syracuse. So Syracuse, with their probably one of the greatest seasons in their team's history, make it to the Sun Bowl. Unfortunate for them. We're in the Gator Bowl. That's great. Mississippi State goes from potentially playing the national championship to the Capital One Bowl. That's got to suck. Now the BCS Bowls. The big ones. The Rose Bowl. Michigan State versus Oregon. And you have, I forgot about this little feature. Kirk Herbstreit's picking Michigan State. Who's he picking for the Carl Weezer-less Georgia? He's picking us to beat Northwestern, sorry. Did I say Northern Illinois? Northwestern. And I guess this is pretty cool. We can see our stats right here too. We were 29th in college football with 30 points per game, 38th with total offense with sub 400. I mean, that's because Carl wasn't starting like the second, like the last 4 or 5 games of the season. We had the 3rd most rushing yards, is pretty good, and a pass offense, not good for Carl because we finished almost like close to last in the all of college football in terms of passing offense, 185 yards per game. That's not good for Carl and the team. So, Outback Bowl, Texas A&M versus Iowa. That's a pretty decent game right there. You have the Fiesta Bowl, Alabama versus Oklahoma. Number 2 Oklahoma, not in the national championship game. Oh, I mean, that's just weird. Although, I mean, I know it's the BCS rankings, but still, that's just weird how it has that set up. Sugar Bowl, Florida versus Ohio State. That should be a fun one. Georgia Tech versus Louisville in the Orange Bowl. Number 16 Georgia Tech in a BCS Bowl. Cotton Bowl, Oklahoma State versus Arkansas. Auburn gets to play Louisiana Lafayette. Go Daddy Bowl. That's actually in my city. National Championship, Notre Dame versus Texas. Guess it will be interesting to see who wins some of these games. So I guess the last thing we can do for this first freshman season is to see who won the bowl games. See if there's any interesting ones at least. Nothing really crazy here. UCF lost to Northern Illinois. TCU beat Stanford. Florida State beat Rutgers. Ball State lost to Miami 38-0. LSU beat Michigan 34-27 in the bowl game of 2 teams that sucked. Houston lost to Oregon State. Washington destroyed Texas Tech. West Virginia beat Wisconsin. Syracuse is on a mission as they beat USC. Their greatest season and probably one of the greatest seasons in team history. They win the Sun Bowl. Good for them. And let's just go to we lost to Northwestern. Dog, we got destroyed. We got destroyed. 41-24. That's what happens when you have a Carl Weezer-less team. We've got to come back with a vengeance next year. Mississippi State ended the season like bad. Lost 2 games, lost to Nebraska. Texas A&M finished the season 5th. Michigan State won the Rose Bowl. These are the big ones. Alabama gets destroyed by Oklahoma as Oklahoma wins the Fiesta Bowl by 20. Ohio, the SEC teams were like not good in the big bowl games. Ohio State blows out Florida to win the Sugar Bowl. Georgia Tech beats Louisville to win the Orange Bowl. Arkansas loses. Yeah, the SEC teams are not doing good. Auburn barely beats Louisiana Lafayette. Last but not least, Notre Dame wins the national championship game over Texas. Hands Texas their first loss of the year. Notre Dame's national champions, and we lose to Northwestern. What a crazy ending to the freshman season for Carl Weezer. So I guess technically really the last thing we do for this episode is it said advance to end of season. I want to see if there's anything less us do in the off season or if it just jumps us into next season and hopefully we're still not like dead. So yeah, there was nothing interesting in the off season. It just skips right here. So in year number 2, which will start next episode, the sophomore season for Carl Weezer, once again we're taking on Clemson to start off the year. Let's check out our schedule really quick. Have an FCS team at 14 South Carolina. Any big game? Wow, that's actually hilarious. I have had nothing to do with this. Nothing whatsoever to do with this. Because you can't even custom schedules in Road to Glory. We're taking on my alumni. Well, the school I'm an alumni of. South Alabama. Interesting. Aside from that, no real big matchups. It's to see, are we in the Heisman watch by chance? Carl Weezer? Still not getting respect. I mean, I'm guessing that we are not injured anymore. Because they didn't say out for life. Ohio State's number 1. Any surprises in the top 25? Not really. It's just their preseason, so who cares? Let me make sure it'll actually let me play this game. Let me just make sure. Okay, so that actually works. So apparently we're back and we're healthy. And that's going to start next episode, Carl Weezer's sophomore season. And hopefully no injuries happen. So hopefully guys did enjoy today's episode. Kind of a turn for the worse, but at least it makes for an interesting series on the channel. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to drop a like. If you can smash 2,000 likes. The quicker we smash 2,000 likes, the quicker the next episode will come out to start Carl Weezer's sophomore year. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Turn on the notification bell if you haven't. With that said, I'll catch you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. God bless and peace.